Ever since I started this 30-day challenge, so many people have been messaging me, asking me the same banking questions. And honestly, I had these exact questions when I started too. So today I'm going to clear up the biggest misunderstandings about opening and using a bank account in the Dominican Republic, especially if you're doing it from the US. So here's exactly what I'm going to break down for you today in this video. What type of accounts you can open, whether you can open in dollars, in pesos, or both, how much money you need to deposit, and whether you get a debit card or where you can actually use it. And most importantly, how do you put money into your DR account from the US? So let's get right into it. Guys, my name is Betty Gonzalez, and this is day 15 of my 30-day YouTube challenge where I go live every weekday to document our entire journey of preparing to move to the Dominican Republic before we make the move so that you can learn our process, our mistakes, and the things that nobody tells you. So now let's get right into it because today I want to answer the most common banking questions that people are asking me and that I myself had before I started the process. And the very first one that I'm going to start is, what kind of account can I open? You can open a checking account, you can open a savings account, and you can open both. But this is very importantly, you can only open a from the US offices, you can only open a savings account. You cannot open a checking account from here. Now, the second question is, can you open an account in dollars and in pesos? Yes and yes. You can open both accounts. In Banreservas lets you open a US dollar account and a Dominican pesos account or a combination of both. We opened both. Why? Because we wanted to have pesos to pay local expenses if we ever need to do repairs in our villa. And then also we wanted to have it in dollars to move money in and out without too much conversion loss as the dollar exchange shift daily. So now another question that I guess, how much money do you need to open a bank account? Here we go. It depends on the bank. But for Banreservas, which is the bank that we use to open our first bank account, is for a US account, it usually requires $500 to open. And for a pesos account, it requires about 2,000 pesos to open it, and which currently comes out to around $40 at this rate as the making of this video. Nothing crazy, and you can deposit it within 3 calendar days after opening it. Now, do you get a debit card? Yes. And this confuses a lot of people. So you do get a debit card, but you can use it at ATMs in the DR. You can use it inside a DR normally, and like outside of the DA, outside of using the ATM, and you can use it in the US, but only at ATMs, not as regular cards in store as we use our debit cards here that we have for bank accounts here. Why? Because Banreservas consider the card as being issued in the DR, not the US, and the US point of sale system may decline it if you use it in the stores. So another question that I have is, how do you deposit the money into your DR account? This is very important, guys, because I've been asked this. You cannot walk into the US representative office and deposit cash. You cannot deposit checks. You cannot withdraw cash from those offices either. So they do not function like a full service branches in the Dominican Republic, or like you use it in the US. So how do you put money into your DR account then? Well, you can put bank to bank wires, which are gonna require a bank wire transfer fee, ACH transfer depending on your bank in the US, online transfer from a US account, and sell. Banreservas does receive sell, however, you must activate it inside of the US first. This part shocks and confuses people because they expect it to work exactly like the US, but it does not. So how do you withdraw or access your money? You withdraw your money using your debit card in the DR ATMs, or you can wire money back from your DR account into the US if needed. So guys, if you're planning to buy property or eventually move to the Dominican Republic, Opening a bank account is essential, but it works every time differently than the US banks. It's not the US account. But the good news is, guys, is that once you understand the system, it becomes simple. The key is knowing what to expect, what documents to bring, and the one office where everything gets done without delays. So if you find this helpful, hit the like so that I know to create more videos like this one. And if you want my free 7-step buy checklist that walks you through everything you must verify before buying a property in the DR, just comment checklist or email me at info@livingindrguide.com with the subject line 7-step checklist to make sure you receive it right in your inbox. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss Monday, day 16, where I'm going to be talking about how to legally recognize your marriage in the Dominican Republic. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.